So Jrue, you and Derek obviously were on the Olympic team, and I think collectively, hoop fans, we were a little bit confused by Jayson Tatum's limit to playing games, and obviously Jaylen Brown not being part of that Olympic team. I know on one end, the experience was amazing. It was great for you getting to, represent and, play for the country. On the other end, it's two of your teammates that are kind of on the negative side of this experience. How was that balance for you in terms of like, yo, this is amazing, this is fun, I'm doing something big, but then, I still, feel for these two guys that, aren't getting the respect that you think and we all think that they deserve. How was that balance for you?
I think you just got to balance it. However it may be, because kind of like you said, like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity or experience where you get to be around some of the greatest athletes in the world. And then on the flip side, like just winning a championship with my boys, and then knowing like how good they are, and they are good enough to be on this team, and make an impact, or even on the team and not playing as much as you're used to, or like looking at time like that. It's definitely hard to see, because you want the best for your man. Like, I want them to be able to play as many minutes and do all that and win all the accolades. But at the same time, I feel like they were as professional as could be. Like JT, the way he handled it like a professional. He never brought it in the locker room. He never brought it to us. Like, yeah, we talked about it and all that, but it was never like it was an issue. And then the same thing with D White and JB. Like, we all love each other, so it was never an issue amongst us. But I do know that there were some things put out there that was real controversial. So
yeah, Jrue. So like in real time, I understand he was being very professional about the lack of playing time, but just between your guys' discussion, like were guys on the team like confused by this, or was this something that was already discussed before it did get out? Like, what was the real time? Like, what is going on here?
I don't know if it was discussed before, just because it wasn't, my business. But was it weird? Yeah, it's Jayson Tatum. What do you mean? He's
right.
top five players in the league. Just won a championship, one of the best players in the playoffs and in the final. So when it was happening, like, yeah, you feel for him because of everything that literally just happened 2 weeks ago. And again, you could see that, like, yeah, he's upset. He want to play. He's a hooper. What hooper wouldn't be?
Right.
But again, that's just his professionalism. That's him being, all right, it's more than me and just what I want. What's going to be best for the team. I don't want to mess up any chemistry or anything like that. And honestly, bro, he was great. He was great. He wasn't pouting. I could tell you that. He would get in the gym. It's not like he stopped working. He was the one seriously trying to be like, all right, well, I'm going to stay ready whenever my numbers fall.
Shout out JT, man, because I did think he handled that amazingly. He handled it like a professional. You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing that came out of him, the bad bunch out of the bad grape out of the bunch. He really handled it with professionalism. So, like, shout out JT.
For sure.
I know those games watching was crazy. They were incredible to watch. When you look back at some of the months removed now, how would you describe that experience?
Bro, it was a hell of an experience. I think being able to play with the best players in the NBA and then to see the best players from other countries and see like how they really are. Because, when you come to the league, like, and you see the players in this league from different countries, I want to say that they're a little tied down, but once they get back to their country and they used to playing with their teammates that they've been playing with since they was 12, and they get a chance to like just let go and let loose, the boys can play. The boys can play. But I think some of the games that I was in, actually seeing like being on the same side as LeBron and Steph, seeing like how Book and all these guys, like get down, bro, it was insane. To be a part of that team was definitely like one of the highlights of my career.
And Jrue, talk a little bit about like your mindset when it comes to playing your role on that squad, because I know outside looking in, it may seem easy just to get all these super talented guys from the league and throw them out there, but there's a lot of egos. There's guys used to being the number one scorer, the two scorer. How did you balance that, and how did you approach that heading into the Olympics?
Yeah, I don't think guys know, or even just hoopers know. You know, like some of the best hoopers, they know they got the green light, and they always going to have the ball and do whatever they want to do with it. But when you're on a team with, again, LeBron, Steph, Joel, Devin Booker, AD, Bam, all these guys are number one guys on that team. Jayson, they all number one guys on that team. So I think having the mindset of like, all right, every person is a number one person on this team, and for us to win, like I might not get any shots this game, or I might get 3 shots this game. You have to completely change your mentality, and it's tough because if you miss your first couple of shots, you really might not get the ball anymore, or because our team is so good, you might not play anymore. And you know, as a hooper, you always want to feel like you affect the game in some type of way. So for me, I always knew if my shot wasn't on, I can affect the game on the defensive end. I can get offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds. I can make plays for other people. So I think maybe the easiest person to do that for was me, because I did that in Boston last year when we won, where I wasn't the number one guy or two guy. It just kind of like shots came when they would come. And from there, you just kind of try to find your spots. You try to lock into making your open shots and making right decisions. But I think for me, the transition was probably the smoothest.
Yeah, I know when you're in the NBA, it's a lot easier for the games to come to you because you know, all right, I'm going to probably play 35 plus minutes tonight, right? Whereas the Olympics, you know right away, like, all right, I got to make an imprint as soon as I step into the game, as soon as this ball get tipped up. It's a transition. It's a change that you got to make, right? Like how was that? Like when you notice, like, all right, like I have to dictate how I'm going to play and how this game is going to look for me the second this ball goes up.
For sure. It's definitely an adjustment, especially in terms of the game is shorter. You play 40 minutes instead of 48. Like I said earlier, you probably, like, we started off, we would play 5 minutes and then get subbed out. Like, what you going to do in 5 minutes, bro? At that point, you just get warmed up.
Right, exactly.
At that point,
that's my point. That's my point. Yeah. The NBA game, that 5 minutes, like in the NBA game, that's like, yo, all right, I'm ready. I'm easing into the game now. I know now it's time to go. You don't have that privilege in the Olympics.
No, and you also know that in a week you could possibly have 4 games. You possibly have 4 games in a week. So even if I don't catch rhythm this game, I'm gonna get it tomorrow because tomorrow's a back-to-back or the day after. I mean, we were waiting 4 or 5 days, sometimes a week in between games. So trying to catch rhythm and keep rhythm was a bit more difficult. But I think it's really just about the experiences that you've been through basketball, where, I mean, I've been traded 4 times. I've had different roles in all the different places, and just learning from those experiences. And honestly, seeing something that's bigger than myself, like being on the USA team wasn't about me. It was what was on my jersey. It is what's on the back of my jersey, like representing my family, but it's more so about representing my country and knowing that like we could do something special. So take the ego out of it, and again, at that point, whatever happens, happens. Go out there and play your game.
PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 5 million members across the country, it is the most fun and exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players.
You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. So make sure you sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even have to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed.
Whether you think Nico Collins will continue to get more targets or Justin Herbert passing totals will be a little light this week, PrizePicks has you covered on every option.
So make sure you download the app today and use our promo code PodcastP to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. So you can finish the football season by downloading the app today and using the code PodcastP to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game.